Take a legendary Western artist, pair them with a current K-pop group, and flip an iconic hit into a brand new K-pop track. What could go right or very wrong? Let's discuss Apple TV's K-Popped.
We have reached over 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining the CCTV crew. If you're on a podcast platform, please give us a rating, follow, and share the episode as well, because it really helps us grow and find other global pop fans. And today, we're so excited because we are joined by the hosts of the amazing 2000s pop music podcast, Right Back At Ya.
Hello.
Welcome, Joel and David.
Yay. Thank you so much for having us back, guys.
Yes, love to
So
have you back
excited.
on.
The second this show was announced, we were both like, this is the perfect opportunity to get the Right Back At Ya boys back on.
Yes, as we thought. We're like, oh my God, stop it. A lot of the artists were like UK based anyway, so I was like, oh, this is even better.
Yes.
Yeah, because Western artists over here don't want to share the stage.
But yes, give us the update. How's the show been going? We love all the latest episodes you've been doing. We saw you did Boa.
Yeah.
We got some Victoria Beckham, timed perfectly with the Netflix documentary announcement.
We think that Netflix saw our episode drop and they went, right, we've got to get this update out, strike while the iron is hot. Everything's been going so well. We're just 7 years. We just celebrated our 7th anniversary and just going strong, celebrating the 2000s pop love, you know?
Yes, I love that.
And I really was thinking about you guys a lot when we did our BoA episode because, you know, the only other time I've ever spoken about K-pop was with you guys because we hadn't even done that on Right Back At Ya before. But this was really something that, yeah, Joel and I wanted to do. And it just kind of got around to August and it was BoA's 25th.
Yeah.
Like, you know, since her debut. And I thought, okay, like maybe now's the time we do it. Let's just do it. And we celebrated the English album that she did, the US album.
Oh, yes.
Because we just thought if we're going to like pitch K-pop to our listeners, like what is the most, you know, zesty main pop girl from the 2000s kind of record? And obviously it's that one. Like that is the cousin of Britney's Blackout. We just thought, hopefully they get it. And yeah, it was just, I was thinking about you guys so much that time because I was like, oh my gosh, it's actually so much fun to talk about K-pop.
The CCTV impact.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have brought you here today to talk about K-Popped, which is Apple TV's latest reality competition series, which was executive produced by Psy and Meghan Thee Stallion. And as Chantel mentioned, each episode pairs a legendary Western artist with a K-pop group to remix iconic hits into fresh K-popped tracks. And the group then splits into 2 teams battling on stage alongside the legends, and then the audience votes to decide which version comes out on top. So, what do you think of this whole concept?
I would say I like the concept because for a really long time we've been seeing collaborations of K-pop artists with Western artists for years, like Lil Kim and Seven with Girls, Boa and Britney never performing together but performing in the same stage in Korea. You see the Wonder Girls on Jonas Brothers tour, so it's always been kind of bubbling, you know, coming along. So to actually have it be this TV show or this streaming show is actually really impressive. I would say I feel like K-pop is really hitting this peak, and I'm like, don't want to like, you know, be negative. I'm like, I wonder if it's going to get any bigger than this because it didn't hit like network television, but it did hit the streaming. And I was like, this is exciting. But when I heard some of the names, I was like, how are they going to do it? What songs are going to do? I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, you know, so it was a lot of mixed emotions, excitement for sure. Like, yes, finally a main stage, but I was very curious to see if they were going to cater more to like a Korean audience or to the Western audience. And I think we got our answer, and we'll talk about it a little bit more as the show goes on. But yeah, I think K-pop artists, they were all super new, which I was like, could have thrown some legacy K-pop artists in there as well, because those girlies should not be working at convenience stores. Am I right, y'all? Because some of them girls are working at convenience stores now.
Oh, no.
But the lineup was pretty decent, I would say. The Western artists, super impressed with. Some throwbacks to the 80s people was kind of surprising too. So yeah, I think it was pretty cool.
Yes, Joel, how about you?
Yeah, super interesting. I was just very intrigued, and obviously the way the news hit us was very like headlined by Spice Girls and Kylie. So that pricked up our eyes and ears right away.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was just sort of curious to see how they was going to go about it. And what's brilliant is because I knew we were going to be watching, when I was watching it, I knew we'd be doing this episode. So the whole time, even now, I can't wait to just see what your
Yeah.
guys' opinion was as we get through it.
I thought it was so interesting that this is the point that we get a show like this, because it
Mhm.
felt like for so many years that K-pop was going to cross over, and that would be an opportunity like this. Like even when BTS was active,
Oh,
or
yeah.
like pre-Blackpink going, you know, on their
Mhm.
solo voyage before this comeback. I really thought about that point. We had NCT being so active at that point as well. You know, they were doing the EMAs. So it's interesting that this is the year, but also can't fault it with how the universe has, you know, fallen into place with K-pop Demon Hunters doing so well.
Yeah.
So it really felt destined to hit at this point.
Mhm.
It does feel like every lane in the entertainment industry kind of goes in its own way. So music's finally got there, and maybe if you're tapped in a few years ago, it felt like this should have happened. But then like we see with kind of formatted television, one hits off and then they all clamour to it. So we've seen, as you said, K-pop Demon Hunters, we have Pop Star Academy. It's kind of like a positive domino effect because we like Backstreet Boys, we want NSYNC, you know, it's a
Yeah.
good thing. But yeah, if it popped off a few years ago, TV or streaming, as you say, is finally catching up. And I think this will be just the beginning of even more to come. As you said, Chantel, hitting this mainstream for better or for worse, hopefully for better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious how this has been doing, like in the
Mhm.
ratings. I know with these streaming platforms, you don't really get the numbers, but definitely watching it, this reminded me of like on X Factor and Idol when they'd have pop stars come in and perform with the
Oh,
finalists.
when they could afford it? Yes.
Yeah, like Alexandra Burke and Beyonce. You got that
Exactly, yeah.
iconic, I mean, Nicole stealing Jamaine's microphone.
Oh,
You know, this kind of reminded me of that because it was these newer K-pop groups with these Western
Yeah.
legends, I guess. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
legends is subjective, I guess.
Right. True.
But yeah, you know, I agree with you, Chantel. Like, of course, as a second gen K-pop fan, originally the caliber of K-pop artists, when just seeing the lineup, I was a little bit disappointed by. But you know, let's
Mhm.
talk through it and we can see how the execution went.
Okay, quick question. Has anyone ever seen 4 Minute and A. Marie perform together? Please. Okay, thank you. All right. Listen, y'all. I'm not sure if it's still on YouTube, but it happened. It was basically like K-popped, basically.
Oh,
I just want to say that. Okay, I just want to just double check. I just remember just now. A. Marie would have been a good option too, just to bring it back around. She's half Korean, you know.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but
Did
yeah,
they do one thing?
they did Heard 'Em All Talk, and then they did I think they only did Heard 'Em All Talk, and I think they may have done a 4 minute song, but I can't remember. But I just remember them switching the Heard 'Em All Talk, what how much you want me, and then the keep what you doing. They said something in Korean. I did not know what it was. I was like, yes, yes.
Wow.
The faces are indicative of the of no one else saw it. It's like lost media. Am I the only person? Drop it in the comments, guys. If you are watching or streaming, drop in the comments if you have seen it. We're gonna get right into episode 1 of K-Popped. All right. So we had Megan Thee Stallion with Savage and Patti LaBelle with Lady Marmalade with the girl group Billie.
I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, Gucci,
Okay.
yeah. So let's start with Savage. First, let's talk about what they did to change the song. There
Right.
wasn't much. It was kind of just what would be a live performance version, you know, just some more dynamics that they could use for the choreography.
That opinion may come up
Yes.
frequently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Jaquel Knight, though, as a
Mhm.
choreographer.
I think obviously that's like the song you want to do with Megan.
Yeah.
It's ready made for it already. I thought that they would maybe zhuzh it up a bit more and give it more like a YG style production to really like, I don't know, make it a lot more obvious to the kids that this could be a Blackpink song. Throw in some cheap horns or like really turn that shit up, you know?
Yeah.
And just make it a little bit more ratchet. I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be a little bit more riskier.
But
Mm.
I think what I got was it was kind of good to get that synergy of the different voices together with her. But
Mhm.
I think production-wise, they could have really taken more risk.
Oh, there's some, was it dance hall, some EDM in there. I think they kind of did play it safe. I will say the Billy girls did what they needed to do. Like they usually do quirky, sassy. I mean, like was it Ginga Minga Yo? They had the other song. I can't think of it right now, but I do listen to some of their singles, and it's very quirky, very like whimsy. So this was a nice little switch up for them. It was giving a little hot girl-ish, hot girl, real hot girl-ish. Um, so I don't dislike their performance of it, but I do understand like the whole um it didn't sound fully remixed. It just sounded like here's the Billboard Music Award version of like featuring like the next TikTok viral K-pop group. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I mean anyone else could have done it. I think I'm getting some nods. So Joel, did you notice that too? It was kind of just like, okay, I could have placed anyone in here because I got that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was. I thought it was good. I thought it was a great way to start off the show,
Yeah.
like up tempo, fun, dancing performance. But yeah, it was kind of as you guys have said. Yeah, it's like award show performance, or harking back to those X Factor days of two artists coming together, not necessarily forming a super group or
Mm-hmm.
the synergy, but fun nevertheless. And our Meghan is one of the producers on this and a host throughout, so we've got to kick it off with her.
Yes, that's right.
I do think this was one of the better performances on the show. It did feel like they were
Mm.
all together energy-wise, like
Oh,
stage presence-wise. Even the vocals were actually pretty evenly split as well. And
yes.
I enjoyed that little choreography moment at the end when they were all in a line.
Mm-hmm.
So this I actually think was one of the better ones overall. But yes, agreed they could have taken more risk with the actual song.
Yes, and more coordination with the actual outfits. That's gonna be.
That's a comment across the entire show for me.
I'll say it now. I
Yeah.
hated that no one was coordinated. Like,
Hmm.
I appreciate the whole cultural exchange, like they were having like the moments here and there and coming into the show. But I was just like, where is the costume exchange? It's not just like, oh, here's a
Mm.
K-pop concept outfit, like here's a skirt over some jeans and a crop top, and then they're wearing black, looking like, like it. Yeah, all of our heads kind of ticked a little. But yeah, I think across the board, I'm gonna say it now. I do not like the lack of coordination with the outfits.
Yeah, it's fair. It feels like they weren't even talking to each other about
No,
it.
no.
Yeah.
And I think Megan may have been in Korea to film for Twice's music video because she was wearing a couple outfits from like the music video shooting
Oh,
with them that she was wearing while she was filming with Billie. So shout out to her for being out there and making that magic happen.
listen, that styling budget is
Uh-huh.
that styling budget for that trip.
Yeah.
So whatever you choose to do, it has to be from the selection.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I feel, yeah, maybe it's a styling budget thing. You want to give Miss Patti her essentials, whatever
Right.
she needs, and
Right.
the Spice Girls as well, because it looks like what they were wearing was more bespoke for the occasion. Whereas, like you said, for a lot of the artists, it probably was a tour outfit.
Oof. Yeah. Ooh. Get to that
Yeah.
later too. All right.
Yeah.
So Miss Patti. Ooh. Lady
Mm.
Marmalade. Okay, now we've heard the faces. So we've heard All Saints do it. We've heard Maya, Pink, Little Kim, and them do it. But
Mm.
how do we feel about the Billie version of Lady Marmalade with Miss Patti?
I mean, don't forget the Sugar Babes actually performed this
Right.
with Patti, actually.
Right.
Mm.
Yes,
Here in London, yeah, at the Royal Albert Hall.
that's right. Okay, look, Patti deserved some vocalists with her. You know,
Yeah.
you got to give a little sass here.
Yeah.
I think the Billie girls kept it very light and very cute in the vocals. Like really no sexiness at all, even in that. So this pairing just made no sense for me. Like there are even better options within the other groups that were cast in this, like Kiss of
Ooh.
Life.
Yes.
They would have killed
Definitely
this,
Kiss
for
of Life.
example.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it almost feels disrespectful that they paired the Godmother of Soul with these only okay vocalists, and this really just gave her and some new LaBelle members.
Oh, Jesus.
Like
I mean,
grandkids, you know,
uh-huh.
not LaBelle members. Like it's
LaBelle
Yeah.
Juniors.
Yeah.
They did change the production for this one a bit more, though.
Yes, they
You
did.
know, it definitely felt like a K-pop song, I will say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but like, which K-pop group could have done it justice? You like, do they have any hats they want to throw in the ring? I feel like if Brown Eyed Girls weren't like tweaked out right now, they would have ate this up.
Ooh, AOA, if they were still together.
Okay, a little
Yeah.
chill
Some mini
over.
skirt sexiness.
A.
Yeah.
Maybe Mamamoo
Ooh.
or even
Oh, Hwasa.
Hwasa. Hwasa
Hwasa
just
alone.
by herself.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
embodies Lady Marmalade. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. I mean, for me, I feel like I do have in my notes like they're like the main artists featuring backup singers. Like, where are my backup singers? Where are my backup singers? That's what they look like. Even for people who don't know what I'm talking about, Patti LaBelle was performing, I think, for Christmas.
Yes.
And
Every
she didn't,
Christmas.
yeah, and she didn't know
Comes
the
out.
words. She didn't know the words. Didn't know the words of the song, but the background singers did. The background singers weren't there, so she was just riffing and hey. You know, it was she was going through her motions. But this time she had her backup singers. To think about how much older she is so crazy. I didn't realize that she was in her 80s, but she looks great. The whole like Lady Madame outfit that she was wearing was at least she matched the girls, right? Like she was
Yeah.
wearing black. Suki being amazed by Patty singing is indicative of what's not in the K-pop industry. Because like if you're around good singing, I'm not saying Patty wouldn't surprise you, right? You wouldn't be impressed. But like if you're around it, you'd have been like, oh my God, girl, yes. But she's like crying. And I'm like, oh, you're touched. I respect that. So I appreciate there is a respect aspect. And she gave her a little kiss at the end of the performance. But I think in terms of the whole performance, the dynamic was a little like, I don't know, flat soda.
Guys, I don't know if you ever had anything equivalent in America, but here in
Mm.
the UK, we'd have things like Disco Mania or ABBA Mania or Grease
Oh.
Mania, and there'd be current bands or
Yeah.
artists doing, like we have Rachel Stevens doing Knock on Wood, we have Girls Aloud doing Hope She's Devoted to You. This was really feeling like that. And that isn't a bad thing. Like, I
Yeah.
love those specials so much. And they've given us so many fun moments. You know, we've got Girls Aloud singing I'm Every Woman with Feather Boas. And
Yeah.
it is kind of just giving that, especially, and like with Purple lighting, you know, like Purple is known for like game show flashy studio show.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that is kind of really giving that. And on those shows, you kind of can have one singer that's stagnant and a more dancier band around them. And it
Mhm.
doesn't matter if it's super in sync because it's just sort of like a fun moment. I mean, speaking of other Lady Marmalade moments, we had the Girls of Coronation Street, which is a soap here in the UK, do Lady
Oh,
Marmalade on one of these specials.
it's timeless. It's for everyone.
It is. But I guess the worry is of like, what is there still to be done with this song? And do we need to
Oh.
do something new with this song? Because we've had a few definitive versions, which are all
Yeah.
incredible. I'm not sure. You kind of need to really
Yeah.
recreate it if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm
I
not sure if
agree.
that was done.
Oh, no, I agree. I agree. And yeah, no, I feel like they should have gotten someone else. I don't think this is a fair matchup at all. You have someone that's like super current that even Korean artists know, and then one lady that they're like, oh, she's saying that. And it's not. It's not fair. So although
Yeah.
it isn't fair, I think like the winner is kind of clear this episode.
Mm,
I'm not
yeah.
sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
I mean,
Yeah.
David, did you have any other thoughts on Miss Patti?
No, other than I love that she got a trip out of it. And, you know, she was like, oh, my grandkids love K-pop. And,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like it's a big moment for her. You know, I was watching the VTs and her interacting. It really seems that she's like, you know, I've done so much in my career,
Yeah.
but I've never actually been on a show like this in Seoul doing
Yes.
this. So that alone in itself is just like incredible for Miss Patti to still be getting these firsts so many decades into her career. And I'm sure
Mhm.
like, you know, if there was an opportunity, there should have been like a cooking show element with her like
Yes.
really like getting into it. That is the spin-off show I want to see.
Oh my God, yes, Miss Patty's pies and all the other food that she cooked.
Yes, we had another artist that had a cooking segment instead, which
Oh
didn't
yeah,
go very well.
she was not happy about it. Don't, what do you say?
Quick question.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about there's only 48 hours to get this performance done element?
Oh,
You know, you two are performers. I have a performance background. We love slick. I don't want to see like, oh God, we rushed and we can only have 48 hours. I want like the work is here and we do it, and not a kind of like it's slapdash.
oof. Yeah, you know what? That bothered me a bit as well because you have these K-pop groups who are receiving the tracks, you can tell ahead of time. Not a lot of these girlies and boys know English and Spanish. So the fact that they've had time to sit with it, kind of really marinate with it, I thought was like, okay, great for them. But then you have this Western artist who's being challenged, which brings back the thing that I was saying about this wasn't for K-pop fans. This was for a bunch of like Midwestern bachelor viewers to be like, what's this? It's right next to my Severance. What is that? And then like they watch it, you know? So I think that's what happened. And I feel like it's just not fair. But I think for what they did have to do, they did rise to the occasion. But I also
yeah.
want to explain the wardrobe discombobulation moments.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of bothered me a little bit with that, you know?
Yeah, I think the whole idea of, I don't know if this was staged or not, but a lot of these Western artists came in and their first time hearing these new versions was in
Yeah.
the rehearsal studio. I think it was only Eve that was like, oh, when I heard the demo of this, I was like, I don't
Yeah,
like it.
fix
Like,
it.
wait till I hear a more final one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wish there was actually more collaboration, like true collaboration, like a moment in the studio where a producer could
Yeah.
at least explain some of the elements that they're, adding into it. We always only got one line, that was just like, we added more disco flavor. Or
Oh my
like,
God, yes.
or like with the choreography, like we just had one line of the choreographer just saying, "Oh, they're really tight with their choreography," but there's no real collaboration within it.
Yeah.
It was like all done already, and these Western artists came in and they just stepped in to where they were supposed to be. And every time they pushed back, there was actually
Like
drama.
shock. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you've got 48 hours to rehearse, but we're also going to do all the VTs. So we're going to go for lunch. We're going to go out and about. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you have maybe 12 hours to rehearse, or less.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, behind the scenes. That's insane. All right, speaking of all the craziness and some rigidity getting challenged, we're going on to episode 2 with the Spice Girls singing Wannabe and Say You'll Be There with ITZY.
If you wanna be my lover, I want you. Giving you everything, all the joy.
Yes. First off, I was so excited. I was the most excited about this happening. I remember
Yes.
Mel B put up random stories of her in Korea, and she did tease that they were performing somewhere. I remember everyone just being like, what are they doing? So I was just very, very excited about
God
this.
bless Mel
But
B.
yes, what do we think? David, did they execute? Let's start with Wannabe.
Oh, Wannabe, yes.
Oh my God, of all the songs that could adapt to K-pop, this is the one, this has all the flavors, all the attitude in there. I'm kind of glad that they didn't go too crazy with it. Like it felt like it was honoring what it was, because you really think about the lyrics that the Spice Girls deliver in this. It's so unique to them. So actually hearing anyone cover Wannabe ever
It's tough, yeah.
is tough, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. It is. Oh my goodness. I feel like this was an okay mashup. Like it makes sense to a certain extent. Like I do wonder if they really had leaned in like we are all talking about and they have a song called Wannabe.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I was singing the melody of ITZY's Wannabe to Spice Girls with this new remix and it would have fit. All you have to do is just change the tempo just enough. And it would just been like, oh, that's a moment. Or like, I wanna be me, if you wanna be my lover. Have it
Just
be
throwing
like
in there,
that.
like
Yeah.
in the ad-libs. Yeah.
Something could have been there. That would have been such an awesome moment. Very clever. I mean, ITZY's schedule is probably like crazy. But I think that moment would have been a little bit more like, wow. I think the only thing that really surprised me it being episode 2 was the music director going, we have something new for the bridge. Zigga zig zig zigga zig zig zigga zig zig zig.
Uh, zig zig, uh.
I can't say I love that as like a sound, but it's like thanks for trying to switch it up. Even Mel
Yeah.
B was like glitching a little bit because she's like, "What is this?"
Is this the only time we saw like, I know the whole every song is new remixes, but I
Mhm.
feel like this was the only time we saw like the wording or the sounding of
Oh.
how a bit of the song is actually changed.
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, without like a language adaptation. Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
This is like the only
Was
one.
was anyone thinking, I was surprised when it got to the rap bit, I thought, oh my God, is there going to be some new rapping here? Like, is there going to be like a rapping in green? Are they going to talk about the other members in this new iteration? But no.
Yeah,
Yes,
no.
that's actually what I had as well. I was like, that was the perfect part to actually change, is to
Yeah.
reference the 3 ITZY members.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I will say I agree with you, David. I thought the music was actually pretty well done.
Mhm.
Actually, they changed up the drum patterns. It did modernize it a little bit, but it still felt like true to the original song. So I
Yeah.
was actually okay with that. I will say the ITZY girls in the performance, they just went very sexy the whole time.
Oh,
Like, it was
yeah.
kind of playful, but they're more
Got a
sexy
shoulder.
playful.
Yes,
Yeah. Which this song just doesn't really give that. So I didn't love that, I will say.
Mm.
And Mel B just proved just what a star she is. Because
Yeah,
her stage
always.
presence
Yeah,
on
she's
on this
sick.
one especially was just insane. My other complaint, I guess, was they didn't incorporate any of the original choreography.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you would think
Give us a
like
little staircase and give us that little
Ugh.
chorus moment, you know?
Because,
yeah.
you know, they do have a mini staircase in the props cupboard, which we'll get to in a little bit. I did wonder if they were going to, because we see Emma in a pink dress, Mel B in leopard print. I thought, oh, maybe the other members will have a little black dress, a sporty outfit,
Yes.
but
And the crazy
no.
Yes, and it's crazy because Yeji is like, I would say she could do a little ginger moment. Ryujin could have been the sporty, and Chaedong could have been the posh. Like they have those elements again. Oh my god, it was just like K-pop summer on the stage. Yeah, and I think the sexy thing bothered me a little bit too, especially for Say You Be There. It was a little too. It was a little too like I don't know. It was giving a little too much Priss, you know. It's giving a little too much Priss. It's not what I want to say, but it was just so like, it's
I
y'all know what I'm trying
mean,
to say. I can't say
you've
it.
clearly never seen Joel and I do Victoria's part and Say You'll Be There because there's a lot of Priss as well.
But
Sex puss,
everyone
as we
was
like to call
posh.
it.
What you call it?
Sex puss.
Yes, and that's what I'm like, and I don't want to say puss. Like, you know what? I'm supposed to bleep it out. But yeah, it was giving too much push. Like a little bit of
They were ready to do holla in the
oh yeah,
black
Yes.
outfits. They were ready
That
for
may
it.
have worked better, actually.
yeah, maybe. I would say for me, I did not really care for the Wannabe production. It was giving karaoke for me, but Say You'll Be There, considering how it's already like 90s with like the like that G funk, the wiry synth that goes through it to kind of switch it up and give it like a 90s like New Jack kind of vibe. I appreciated. I think Leah and Yuna, they were confident about winning for a good reason, I think. The intro was fully thought out. The piano parts for the pre-hook. It just felt more fun and it just felt very more like more consideration was put toward like the performance. I mean, during rehearsals, they had some like, do we have to dance the whole time conversations? But I feel like I feel like for this one, it needs to be performed and sung. Like people don't think that Spice Girls can sing. They don't think, oh, there's 5-part harmony here. Now they're just singing about "Wanna Be My Lover." "Wannabe" is like not their worst song, but like it's not one of their better songs, right? But "Sailville" there is like well known. We all know it. I was expecting someone to hit Mel C's notes like "Woo!" and it didn't happen, but it's okay because Leah's not Mel C. I get it. But like certain moments, I'm like, yeah, this is why the Spice Girls are who they are, and the ITZY girls can learn from this because they're all standing in line and Yuna's kind of just like swaying and just it just felt like she didn't have anything else to do because there wasn't any choreography. And I think this show really kind of shone a light on what K-pop's advantages are and their disadvantages. Like you
Mm.
can't stand there and like command the stage. You can't look at that camera and say you're mine. that is not going to fly in every single performance. You break your leg, you're just going to sit in the chair and like, I can't perform. So I think overall this performance was way better. The outfits did not make sense again, but and even the dancers were dancing like in baggy clothes, and then the ITZY members were giving sleek high fashion. So yeah, there's like moments where I'm like, costuming wise, awkward, but performance wise, not too bad.
I did love Emma and Mel's dresses though in this. Like
Yes.
I love a metallic moment or a PVC moment. So we got, you know,
Yes.
Emma in silver and Mel being like a red PVC dress. If I could pull that off,
Gorgeous.
I'd be wearing it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know?
Yes.
Yes, I loved the shade during rehearsals when Mel B was like, I think we're going to be the only two that are actually having fun.
Mhm.
Because I think you were saying, again, I wish there was just a bit more collaboration because I think that's what was missing. The ITZY girls didn't look like they were really having fun.
Yes.
And if you can't have fun when you're briefly performing with the Spice Girl, when the hell can you in life?
Exactly.
Right. It was
Exactly.
just
Like they
very,
just
yeah.
didn't really come out of their shell the way that I think they could have. And again, they only had 48 hours, right? So the chemistry also wasn't, you know, it's hard to build chemistry in such a short time. But I do agree that this was more successful than Wannabe. But I think Wannabe actually won, right?
So
Yeah.
Can I say-
by the live audience.
Yeah.
while Say You'll Be There had better choreo, I don't, if I'm watching a new subunit, a
Mhm.
new formation, I don't love that we're doing stuff on the center and then we're going off to the side stage and that's giving amazing choreo, don't get me wrong, but this is film for TV and I get that and I'm watching it as a TV viewer, but if I was there at a concert, I think those people are just stood on stage and they haven't done anything in the middle still. Like it's very separate, and that was my issue, and
Ooh.
that will actually be why this isn't my winner.
Ooh. Oh.
All the pieces were there for this to
Yeah.
win, but it didn't come together.
And I respect that. Oh, you know what's interesting? I feel like for me, a lot of the Korean people like know Wannabe. I mean, like, you know, and
Mhm.
then Say You'll Be There, they're like, oh, that was cute. You know, that was cute. And which is crazy because I love that song.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah.
It goes off. I
Mm.
think we all like really like it.
Yeah. Okay, so David, what wins for you then?
I think it's a really close one because there's not like one super terrible one of the two, but I would say, yeah, maybe it's Say You Be There. You know, I was
Yeah.
just more like reminded of what a great song it is. And I take your point, Joel, with the
Yes.
staging. But when you were saying that, I was thinking, oh my God, how many bloody K-pop performances have we seen that they love to, you know, 3 girls here and then 1 girl there with all the rest of the dancers having a moment and then it cuts back to this. So I was like, yeah, the Spice Girls don't do that.
No.
You know, they're all there on stage. They're all giving it that thing. You know, no one is really, unless you're Vicky at the Olympics, you know, standing 6 feet away from the rest.
Sorry.
Look, on the 2019 reunion tour,
Mm.
they gave us houses, House of Sporty, House of
Yes,
Ginger.
that's
so
true.
they did do separate bits of the
That's
staging.
true, yeah.
And
They
in
weren't K-popped there.
And in K-pop, when people are doing so, I love seeing levels and I love seeing something
Yeah.
over there, but it's being owned still in the center. And I guarantee if you were in that studio, everyone's
Mhm.
owning it to the right, but
Mhm.
everyone's just waiting for their shot to be picked up in the center. And that was
And this-
my issue.
Yes. Oh
Mm.
my God, you're so right. Okay, valid. That's valid.
Oh man. All right, let's move on to episode 3, which was Vanilla Ice with Ice Ice Baby and Taylor Dayne, Tell It to My Heart. And this was done with Kepler. So, Vanilla Ice. I don't know if I've ever actually seen Vanilla Ice perform before, but he actually killed it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm laughing.
Yeah.
I'm like, the only time I've ever seen this man perform was back in the 90s. Well, I wasn't alive, but like YouTube videos. After that, I don't think about this man. And I'm so sorry to this man. His last name is like Rip Van Winkle or something, right? Something Van Winkle.
I don't know. I don't know anything about him.
Oh, well, his last name is Van Winkle, and Rip Van Winkle is like an old man who lives like forever or whatever. But yeah, Ice Ice Baby is apparently timeless because he says he's been getting remixed. He's been based on how he performed. he's been performing for like the longest time. Because when I tell you this man, his breath control,
Mm.
his grooves, it's just he's dressed like Rob Dyrdek, but he's 20 again. I mean, like it was really impressive. I'm not sure about y'all, but I was like Vanilla Ice, Vanilla Ice. But he did his thing.
Well, I tell you, if you don't know anything about Vanilla Ice, he made, and I've not seen it, believe it, like I need to. He's made a movie, and one of the leads in it was Naomi Campbell
Oh,
in like 1993 or something like that.
I mean, he was hot back in the day, so it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, white rapper, let's get it, like that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, this song. It is interesting when in this whole series, kind of the 80s songs, you go, oh, but then actually it does lend itself to what we're doing in this show quite a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't love his attitude in rehearsal when he is like predominantly saying, no, I want to do this original move. And I appreciate like if that's special to him, but just the way it was with the girls and they were so ready to be doing what they'd rehearse over such a small, like little turn. It's like, could you just update it?
It's interesting because it's like, why not use the wannabe stair choreography, right? Why I do all of the, and then he's like, it's step, turn, turn, step, turn, 8. That's the 8 count. And then like, like, it is challenging. I mean, I've been in positions where it's like, okay, we're changing it an hour before we're changing everyone's formation. You're like, what? And you have to make it work. So I can understand. They've been rehearsing for like weeks for a really long time. It's like, oh my God. But I think for the chorus, he made it easier, essentially.
Yeah.
He made it easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the remix of this. The electro pop of it all made the Kepler girls feel like they belonged in it. And it didn't just feel like, two little, well, one's Korean, one's Japanese, two little Asian girls like, yeah, we're rapping. And yeah, it didn't feel too like, like here's my little sister's best friends from high school. It felt like they belonged in there. They really do know how to do like kayfabe, if you will, wrestler term kayfabe, where you have like the heel and the baby face. So a heel is like a villain. They play up the heel part of the rapper really well. Like they know how to really zhuzh it up. Because in a rehearsal, they were like, oh. I was like, dang, this is not going to work. The chemistry's not going to be there on stage. The girls were doing their thing.
They ate.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they had to do the English and the choreography. So it's like, I get why they were like, it's Daehyun and Hikaru. Yeah. I feel like they were really owned up to the whole, like, the hype of the performance, what Ice needed as well, because he is intense. I didn't realize how intense this man was. He'll smile in your face, but be like, F you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's very strong-willed, I get it. But the girls didn't get swallowed up by him, and they didn't feel too background dancery. And I think that's really important for this one.
Yeah, I think they lifted up something that could have been sort of, and this is no shade to him, and I don't mean this as horribly as it sounds, but they lifted up and modernized what could have been stagnant, like a guy that's just been doing this on these circuits, and I love that, like, and I'm here for that, but it did freshen something, and it's actually maybe a smaller lineup than we'll see in a lot of the other performances, so it was really nice to see that unity, and it isn't a formation we get a lot, one man, two girls.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, I think this was actually one of the most successful in the show, and definitely the biggest surprise for sure. And I don't have too much experience with Kepler. Anyone who's listened to the show before, I hated some of their initial songs, but now they've kind of found their sound a little bit. But I was so impressed by these two. They really pulled up to match his energy.
Yes. They
Yeah.
definitely did. Now, Miss I'm not laughing, sorry. I am laughing. Can I tell y'all that I've known Tell It to My Heart for like forever. We all know it, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know Taylor could still sing like that, and I'm so sorry to that woman. I didn't know she could sing like that still. Because, like, back in the 80s, like, everyone was sitting hitting these big old vocals and singing in the back of the throat. Like, everyone was doing that, right? But I didn't know she still had it in her. And, like, the way she kind of holds herself and the way she kind of talks, I'm not eating that squid. I didn't think that she could actually.
It was snail.
Oh, snail, excuse me.
It was, yeah.
Snail.
I mean, she may have had a point there, but still, it was kind of like, she had a little taste of that salad with a bit of seasoning. It's like, this is all right.
Yeah, she was.
If you make Patti LaBelle do this,
Right. And strangely enough, or maybe not strangely enough, a lot of these divas can't sing anymore. I met this one like amazing vocalist years ago when she was in her peak. I won't say what musical she was in, but she had an attitude, blah blah, blah, and she can't hit the notes. The vibrato is like it's not good, but she can sing her booty off. Taylor Beyonce was giving was giving vocals body in the fan. It was, the gold suit, the gold bodysuit, the fan. The intro was very disco. Gloria Gaynor is clapping,
Mhm.
snapping. We loved it. The diva house of all of it, the marching band moment, the harmonies that were actually present because a couple of the Kepler girls can really actually sing, and one of them was SM trained. So she's like, "Oh yeah, this is where I live," I think this is probably one of the best remixes on the show, like hands down. Like
Ooh.
overall, one of the better ones I heard on the show. Now, did it win? I don't know, but yeah,
Ooh.
but I liked how it came across. It wasn't super 80s and cheesy like it used to be. I love 80s cheese, but this was different genres, different moments, and then you have like this really random like instrumental of marching band where the girls are doing salsa shines in the back. I don't know why, but they were telling me the choreography was like salsa, salsa, and I was like, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I thought we were very lucky with this episode because on paper, it was looking like the shakiest one.
Mhm.
So maybe going into it with that very unfortunate thinking, I was pleasantly surprised. The Vanilla Ice performance, I would say, is maybe my second favorite of the whole series in terms of how they really pumped up the production.
Mhm.
And this one, I mean, I would have, no shade to the girls, I thought they did a really great job, but this really is a second gen K-pop song, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
I wanted some of the, legends to come on this one with
yeah,
Taylor Beyonce. It's someone from Girls' Generation. Obviously, it has to be Taeyeon,
yes.
but anyone else, Tiffany, whoever's available.
Oh yeah.
It was giving me nostalgia for second gen K-pop,
Mhm.
or even third gen. Like, I just think that would have just been so cool. But yeah, Tell It to My Heart, it really is like a classic. And I think they did it really, really well.
Mhm.
Really, really well.
Yeah, this remix was successful, turning it into that full dance moment. I will say, I think if Kepler actually did a solo version of this, that
Mm.
would actually be more successful because I think vocally, it did not work. Like vocally and performance wise, they were not on the same page at
Taylor
all.
swallowed them, yeah.
Right.
Well, as we say, Taylor looks amazing. If they sold those extensions ready to go, like I'm a bald man, I'd get that on like that is ready. And the gold as well. Fabulous. And when you've got hair like that, a voice like that, and gold like that, you
Yeah.
can stand there. You can say, pull me around on the stage. You can say, I'll
Yes.
move over there, but you are going to have to guide me.
Right.
And
She's that girl.
she says, I can't do stage left, stage right, center stage. Like, just pull me around. But when
Mariah
you
Carey.
have such a great song like this, like, I want a little bit of movement. And that's my issue. Just a little bit of flowy on the stage.
Mm. Yeah. No,
Yeah. I
makes
mean,
sense.
they tried to give her even just a little step touch moment, and she couldn't even do that.
Yeah, she said no. No.
But no, I agree with you, David. I think this would totally work as a K-pop song. The kind of light, kind of tell it to my heart, like that, like very babyish
Oh.
kind of like vocal execution. I think that totally works. It just didn't work in a collaboration, I think.
It's because, Wonder Girls had the song that sampled Two of Hearts. Da, da,
No,
da,
yeah.
da, da.
Tell
So it's
me
very
that.
similar. It's like this. Like,
Mhm.
Get Me Sun on this from Wonder Girls. Like,
Yep.
with that
Yep.
big vocal. And she'll give a bit of dancing as well.
Yes. Hello.
Yes. Okay, so what wins for you? I will choose Vanilla Ice.
Oh no.
It's going to be Vanilla Ice. I cannot believe I'm saying this in 2025, but yeah, winner is Vanilla Ice for me. I will download that and stream that now.
I'm not gonna lie. If I close my eyes, it would go to Taylor Beyonce, but if my eyes are open, when my eyes are open, Vanilla Ice was really good. I will say that, but I think I'm gonna give it to Tell It to My Heart. I think it should have won. I think maybe because she just sang her face off, and I was just so impressed. But also, I think again, it's just yeah. I think it was just the gold suit. I got snatched. I don't know.
Sometimes all it takes is a gold suit, you know?
It's fancy, yeah.
Yeah.
But I get why you
Um,
guys picked Ice Ice for sure.
yeah, I think I'd pick Vanilla Ice as well. But yeah, Tell It to My Heart, if they release that, I'd listen to it. I think the difference between Tell It to My Heart and Lady Marmalade is Tell It to My Heart is such a big song and it has been done so many ways, but it continues to work in every single way.
Hmm.
Yeah, if you're gonna do Lady Marmalade, you better get Christina on it, cause honey. Right. Moving right along to episode 4 with Kesha and Eve, with Kesha performing Joyride and Eve performing Let Me Blow Your Mind with JO1.
On my side, get into the photo, show ya. Now let me blow your mind.
Yes, they must not have really been able to find any K-pop boy groups here because they it's just
I can give 'em a
ATEEZ and
list.
JO1. JO1 are not even K-pop.
Team
Anyway,
Top,
yeah.
Beast, aka Highlights.
Hey,
Shall I go on?
Shiny, EXO,
I mean, even
B2B.
maybe not God7, they're like done, but like
Yeah,
someone. There's
yeah,
there's people,
yeah.
right?
All right,
Mm,
well, let's talk about Kesha, Joyride. David, what did you think of this performance?
Look, I think isn't she one of the only ones that got to do like their current single?
Oof.
I think
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, which to me was surprising because we know she's got lots of big hits, but that those might be in the terms and conditions.
Mm.
But
Yes.
I actually don't think that they even did that much to Joyride, did they? Because it actually feels already quite ready, like
hmm
to be done with a boy group and her. I don't know. It just maybe it's also too current in my mind, you know.
Mm, that's
I think they
valid.
made it a bit darker, right? They added
Yeah.
some like extra kind of
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
The choir.
There was some more like metallic kind of synths and stuff in there
Yeah.
to make it a little harder. But yeah, it is interesting that obviously I guess you didn't want to go with any of the Dr. Puke stuff.
Yeah. Not the head shake, Joel. What did you think about it?
No, I thought it was. I thought it was. I was shaking my head at Dr. Puke.
I know it's just so funny because you're like, yeah, I know.
Not that man.
Mm.
Right. I thought this was really good. I thought her with the boys had a really good dynamic of she worked it, she owned it, and the boys felt like her backing dancers, but not in a bad way, not as in she outshone them.
Mhm.
In a weird way, it still collectively shone the whole thing, but it was very much like Kesha and her moment.
Oh yeah.
Even though the boys were like out dancing her, it was still. And in a way, I mean, maybe that's a strength to it because we see in this series a lot the K-pop acts dancing and the Western acts not,
Yeah.
and they kind of stand out for the wrong ways, whereas this, she stood out in the right way.
Yeah, I think having this co-ed moment was perfect because she is like this tall blonde, she's mother, you know, and to have these guys like, hi, your mother, you know, like it's kind of cute. But then when they perform, like the redheaded guy, he seems so sweet. But when he was on the stage with Kesha, it turned on. Like again, K-pop idols have the kayfabe down. Like if you're like the sweetest person off stage, you're shy, introverted. When you hit that stage, the shirt's getting ripped open. No one ripped the shirt open. I'm just saying. But you know, it's something very telling about how like well rehearsed they are, but also how they went. I don't know if it's above and beyond, but it's tough because they speak Japanese, right? And they know Korean, and then maybe some of them know English. But to have a full group of boys around you, and maybe 2 or 3 speak English to you, but every single time you looked at one of them, it felt like, okay, she's going to the club with one of them. Oh no, she's leaving that one behind. It didn't feel like, you know, a valet with, you know, giving somebody, take my keys. It was more like, here's my escort for the party. Oh, this one escort. So it was nice. And then when she hit the floor and she was on her knees and the guys were dancing, it felt like a schmexy club. It felt like a nasty party, and I was here for it. And I think the production of Joyride here, she needs to take it, stick it on a deluxe, because the original Joyride production, no offense to her, I know it's her like independent label and I produced this, I get it. But this right here was just gritty enough for because she is still very edgy, especially after everything that's happened to her. It fits her edginess. And also, it's still really fun and smexy. So I think this is like a really just like it was like kismet for these two to get together for sure.
Yeah, I think chemistry-wise, this was definitely one of the strongest performances because it did feel like a true collaboration on stage. Like again, there was so much interaction between everyone.
Hmm.
Kesha got her moments, the group got their moments. They would come together. Like it was all just staged really, really well, actually. So yeah, I actually think this was very successful, and I was impressed by Kesha because I don't really follow her career that much. I had seen her live kind of way back,
Hmm.
like in the early 2010s, like in the first album, second album era. But I haven't actually seen as much as she's been doing now, and I was actually really impressed. Like she has a strong stage presence. So
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, David and I just saw her at Mighty Hoopla this summer, and she has
Ooh.
an amazing stage presence. She was headlining for, I don't know how many it is, 30,000 on that stage, and yet she owned it and everyone loved it. And I don't know if she'd already shot this first because the sound of this fit very much into that live set. So I don't know if she brought it to the show or if she went, thanks, guys. That's great. But that thematically, it was more of that in Kesha's live show. So you'd have a great time.
Amazing.
ooh,
Love that
good
for
to
her.
know. Okay, so she was battling Eve with "Let Me Blow Your Mind." So yeah, Joel, what would you think of this one?
So where there was where Kesha was making the boys look like her backup dancers in a good way, what I loved about this one was there was more synergy here. This felt more like a group collective. And I thought the chorus sounded fantastic, what they'd done with
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
Hmm. The production was good.
Yes, I love the new version, the kind of slightly higher BPM. Again, it was just a performance track. Like they added so many extra dynamics and stuff just to make the choreography and the energy there really good, almost like a live band arrangement.
Mhm.
Also, Eve looks amazing.
Phenomenal.
This is what happens when you marry a man with that much money and also stay out of people's business. This girl's not on anyone's reality show. She's not doing no drugs that I know of. She is happy and healthy, and she's a stepmother. That's
Mm,
why.
she's a stepmother. That's
Yep,
hilarious.
that's why.
Oh my gosh. But yes, it's just she is so effortless
Yeah.
when she raps.
Yes.
And yeah, I agree with you. I think this was another situation where you could feel that the boys actually kind of took on some of what she was giving to try and
Hmm.
match it. I do think in terms of the dance breaks and stuff, it wasn't as seamless as the way they staged Kesha's.
Yeah.
But I think when Eve was saying, look, I'm not a dancer, I'm a viber, they did seem to adjust to that. And those moments when they were just kind of vibing with her were maybe the most successful parts in this
Hmm.
performance.
Hmm. No,
Fire.
totally.
Honestly, like both of these songs for this episode really works well for K-pop. Like as a concept, they are so adaptable. And I don't want to be that person, but I was like, the rap songs that are covered generally are the ones that I'm like, yeah,
Mm.
I know it's a little bit obvious, but it also just gives, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the kind of tougher, more attitude driven songs that just feel very much in the K-pop playbook. Or maybe that's just my personal taste, some of the more cutesy emotional stuff. I'm more like, oh, I'm not really sure, if that
Hmm.
is the kind of performance I enjoy. But something like this, you're like, wow, the chemistry between the main artist and these guys, like, it's just, give me that remix now. Give me that version.
Ooh. What a thought to have, because it's like if these artists are working with the artist, like if the K-pop artists are working with the Western artists and they don't like the song, that can also affect like the engagement. So, so many things to think about. Now I'm like retroactively thinking, did ITZY just not jive with Spice Girls? I'm teasing. I'm teasing. All right. So, all that being said, who's this everybody's winner? Joel, kick us off. Who's your winner?
Mine is Eve.
Ooh.
That chorus really did it for me.
Wow. Okay.
This is hard actually. I think performance-wise, I might actually give it to Kesha.
I'm Kesha too.
Wow. You guys really almost swayed me because I went in with Eve on the card, and now you're really making me second guess it because maybe I was too, not seeing what was special in the Kesha collaboration. But I think gotta go off the energy of everyone on stage. And I think the Eve performance really sold it more for me.
I respect that. Go ahead, 10 toes down, 10 toes. Moving right along to episode 5 with Kylie Minogue with Can't Get You Out of My Head versus J Balvin with Mi Gente featuring ATEEZ. Okay, now this episode had Chris up in arms, but
Did it?
no, I'm teasing. But I think the biggest conversation was like, people don't realize who Kylie freaking Minogue is. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, J Balvin is amazing. What he did with Mi Gente, how many years ago, was great, right? But like, but it's Kylie Minogue.
Exactly.
4 decades strong Kylie Minogue. Why did she not get her own episode? Like, it's okay. J Balvin's awesome artist. I enjoy him for sure. But, Kylie bias. And I think, Chris, you felt the same way. Like, why not get her own episode?
Yeah, she should have gotten one episode. But look, I did see a lot of the discourse online. Like, I think the ATEEZ fans felt that J Balvin was not very easy to work with, that you could kind of see that those ATEEZ boys were maybe just walking a bit on eggshells with her. And it was just with Jay. And with Kylie, it was the full opposite, where she was of course, the most friendly person in the world and embracing this, new situation that she was in.
Yeah.
So I think just that juxtaposition, I think also I was like, Kylie deserved more than 15 minutes of this episode.
And Minogue never disappoints, and that's why she was a pleasure to work with those boys, I'm sure. What would you have wanted the second song to be if it had been a Kylie and Minogue episode?
Ooh, what would ATEEZ do well? Let's see. I'm trying to think of one of her more intense ones, maybe.
Chocolate would have been
wow.
Very sexy.
Sick. I'm just a chocolate fan.
Slow.
If she'd brought back some of the pas de deux in chocolate with the boys.
Don't play with me right now.
Oh yeah, slow would have been amazing as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be either slow or Padam, right? Because
Padam
is just so fresh.
You could do something really interesting in a K-pop style with Padam as well. Add a whole new Korean rap. Get it all going. Make it absolutely bonkers.
Producers, are we all signed on?
Yes, AppleTV. If you need some consultants for season 2, we're here. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Kylie, Can't Get You Out of My Head. I mean, she has actually done like a heavy metal version before on the Aphrodite tour. So this kind of sounded like that. And it did make sense because ATEEZ is quite intense and there's a lot of the big drums and stuff. So this new version didn't feel entirely fresh, but that's just because I'm a Kylie fan and just know all the different versions of this song. But I will say, I love that the ATEEZ members sang some of the lyrics in Korean. And their moments actually truly elevated the song. Like Jongho.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. First off, he's already just one of the best singers in K-pop now anyway. But him belting that note, that may be one of the best moments, if not the best moment that came out of the show for me.
Heck yeah.
But honestly, just as a Kylie fan, it was just a pleasure seeing her in this new environment and seeing how much she was excited about performing with them. All her little interactions with them on stage and everything was great. But I will say, I do wish there was a little dance break at the end just to kind of climax it. Because that slow walk to the front and then it never really kind of hitting another level, I think was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, the body roll.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're so right. Oh my God. I feel like Kylie's no stranger to her remix. We already know that. ATEEZ brought that dark Saja Boy energy to the stage. This song is already creepy. Now, if you are new to our show, Chris and I have already discussed the Fever album, and we talked about how creepy the lyrics are. Like, there's a dark secret in me, don't leave me locked in your arms, set me free. Like, it just makes sense. Shout out to the boys for singing in Korean. Honey, every time she looked and touched one of them, I was like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. But that's, again, you don't have to be attracted to someone to have good chemistry. And I don't know where everyone was looking. Maybe they were looking at each other's foreheads, looking through the person. I don't care. But the eye contact that was maybe sort of not really happening. I don't care. Great. You know, we got members dancing with women. Like, oh my God, the opposite sex. Amazing. Like the boys looked hot with her. And then she's like all petite and tiny, and they're like standing over her and like, come here, my queen. I'm like, I love it. It was giving reverse harem in the best effing way. But I do wish she was not wearing her lights, camera, action. Like, I was like, the dress that she was wearing when she was sitting down in the VIP lounge made more sense. And I was like, no. But aside from that, I'm not upset with that at all. Even my hair braider, she was braiding my hair, she stopped. She's like, oh, wow. Wow. I was like, yeah, you see this, right? Because who's this? I'm like, oh, yes. I was like, it's Kylie. She's like, yeah. So the whole KT's thing was fabulous. I think it
Yeah.
was really cool. But yeah, my note was the same at the end. Why are we not hitting and head or something? Get on your knees. Something. I don't, that's just me. That's just my sick brain.
I thought she did a great job at as well. It's like she may not have had her own episode, but she managed to bring you Kylie production. It might only be 15 minutes, but I'm making this a Kylie episode and a taste of a Kylie concert, while also working extremely well with the boys, being in sync with them. And what Kylie is amazing at is she's a professional. She's been doing this for 40 years, but she'll also give you friendly and polite professional, not a professional that's just like, I'm here, let's get the job done and make it the best it can be. She'll give you personality. She's giving you a taste of who she is with the
Yeah.
interactions, saying let's give ourselves a name and being the KTs. And I just loved seeing, you know, Kylie's very good at movement as opposed to like full choreo. And I thought that just managed to come together really well with the boys.
Uh-huh.
100%. I mean, you guys have hit it on the head there. The Korean parts and the big vocal part, letting that guy do a full belt. This is what K-pop does. This is the kind of intensity, the drama, theatrics with like a really modern production that just makes you think rock opera. And sure, we're all big Kylie fans. So when the dubstep bit came in, I was like, yes, we know which tour that was pulled from. But still, you know what? It was kind of magpied enough, bits of jewels from different tours that was pieced together that it didn't feel copy and paste for me. But again, the boys, the vocals, the
Yeah.
kind of intensity, the drama was just intoxicating. Like, hands down, the best performance of the whole series. Obviously, Kylie biased, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
You know, we got eyes and ears.
That's right. That's right. Also, can I just say, though, the shame is it didn't win the episode.
Right. Hang on. Okay. So, I mean, there's no surprise with this round, but we're going to talk about Balvin. Imagine him as big as he is. And in Latin America, like, they love him. Okay. They love him. Point is, the fly over there, you're a little tired. He seemed like he was happy to meet them. They met before at Coachella. I think he may have been a little bit like, girl, I don't be dancing. What's this? I don't dance. He hit the Zac Efron. Not Zac Efron, the Corbin Blue. He wasn't feeling it. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I don't dance. Like, please don't do this. So, like, you're asking me to do something other than just be like that reggaeton, like bringing that energy here. And it can be intimidating. You have what, X amount of men? Was it like 4 other guys that are sitting there hitting every move, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's like, oh my God, what is happening? Granted, it did not look good. With him being on the phone and being like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, sure, whatever. But if I was somebody walking into a room where I didn't know anyone, barely knew the language, and then 4 other guys were like, this is what we're doing, and you're like, I ain't doing that. Yeah, there's a little bit of rigidity there as well, now from the Western side. But then juxtaposed with Kylie, it's just like he was just ragging on him. But it really wasn't but like a second or so, like maybe like 5 minutes of him being like, let me get back in my body. So in his defense, it's like, I can kind of understand.
Yeah. No, I think his personality is just naturally, he seemed just very quiet and kind of introverted. And yeah, I mean, I guess his team didn't fully brief him on what this concept was. But no, I think it's more just the warmness of it. Like you could really see the four ATEEZ boys. Like he seems really uncomfortable, and you could tell they were like trying. They were like, "Are you okay
Yeah,
with
Hongjun
doing
was trying a
this?"
lot. Hongjun was
Yeah, yeah.
trying.
So I just felt more empathy for them
Mhm.
actually, because I can see how uncomfortable they are, and even watching the performances or the performance, they really had to pull back their energy to kind of match his,
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
which I didn't love because ATEEZ are such good performers.
Oh my God, yeah.
And even like when they were in the crowd at the start, they're doing nothing behind him.
They're like this.
They're just like little like just kind of waiting for the next moment to happen. So yeah, I just think it just didn't reach the energy I think it could have. I think the song inherently has the energy, right? And they kind of relied on that, and they did nothing to the song.
Nothing. Oh my God. You know what?
Yeah.
K-pop has a thing with reggaeton. Like they don't know how to like. I mean, reggaeton is so iconic though. It's like that drum beat. Like how do you like go work around it? But there are ways. There are ways. Change the bass line. I don't know. Actually, just don't do the reggaeton. Do like a little piano moment. Give Tyler a
Yeah.
moment.
I
Tyler a
mean, do you
moment.
know what as well? Like, because reggaeton is so used in K-pop so widely, like they might have just thought, do you know what? Like this would actually be a song that we would do ourselves anyway. But it's just, it did it a bit of a disservice because I was expecting it to be properly K-popped. But once I saw the song title, I was like, I already know how this sounds like. And they're not going to change very much. Like we're going to get Korean lyrics.
Yeah.
If we're lucky, a big dubsteppy breakdown. But even that, as I was going out, I was like, I don't think we're going to get that.
No. They just made it like a festival, like EDM kind of ish.
Oh, like a festival remix. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is okay, I guess.
Oh,
Whatever's the quickest sign off, you know?
right. You know what? Yeah, he goes, how much Quanto? Okay. so, so what did you think about the whole thing with like the performance? Because you are right. There's a lot of moments going on in the center, but there were moments happening on the side. Like, how did you feel about the whole like staging of everything?
Well, it's tricky because in this one, it didn't feel, as you guys have already said, like it didn't feel like he came together with the boys. So maybe for this, if he's not going to do that, everything going on is going to be to its benefit instead of just this one guy. Like
It's one guy just bopping in the middle. I would feel like the it was regal, like the vibes were regal. I think the crowd work was awesome. I think being in the crowd kind of creates this whole vibe. But I think overall, this is not the winner. And I think the Korean audience, the predominantly Korean audience, only picked it because they know this song. Like, for sure. Because you can't sit there and look at this and be like, oh, yeah, you know, Kylie Minogue didn't do a great job. I just feel like they just recognized this song and it was so big. Even Beyonce hopped on it. You know, like, I know, like, no offense to anyone, but like Beyonce was like, I still love you with me. I was like, yes. She even did it during Beychella. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the song was huge.
do you think if he's as, you know, saying how big he is in Latin America and the journey to get there, do you think this was worth it for him? Like, what's the benefit to his career to do this?
You
I
know,
don't think.
it made a bit of conversation at Coachella. We got to work together. Yeah, man, let's work together. So we're thinking like that's like,
Just circling back.
yeah, circling back. Yeah, as per my last email. But yeah, no, I think for the familiarity of it all, yeah, it makes sense. But J Balvin has other songs that are good, but this is the most iconic one. So yeah, Kylie should have won. So Kylie,
Oh, for sure. No
Bow down
question.
to Kylie Ann always, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, moving on to episode 6, we had Boy George, Karma Chameleon versus TLC Waterfalls with STAYC. I mean, the most bizarre matchup, I would say.
Everyone's face. If you're not watching the episode, you need to hop on some type of viewing platform.
Oh, man.
All the faces just now is crazy.
Yeah, so let's start with Karma Chameleon.
Okay.
Yeah, Chantel, you want to hit us? You want to start us off?
Okay. The production on this was whack.
Horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Okay, listen. Okay, hear me out. I am laughing not at Boy George. I'm not laughing at him performing at anything that has anything to do with the artists, all of them. The production was just whack. It was not good. It was so clunkety and weird. And it's so crazy because like STAYC, they do quirky. They do 80s, maybe a little bit of 90s, maybe early 2000s. They know like their production, was it Black Eyed Peas song? He does great work with them. They sound so retro and they sound fresh at the same time. That's not who was working on this track. And it shows like the Stacey-ness of it was missing. It was just this production and the following production really embody what a lot of non-K-pop listeners think what K-pop is. Before K-pop Demon Hunters came out, they all thought it sounded like Sneakers by ITZY. They all thought it sounded like, I don't know, whatever JoJo Siwa was releasing back when she was like 12 years old. So shout out JoJo. But the thing is, like, this song could have gone in an 80s production, like really leaning to the 80s like moments, or even something K-pop country. Shout out Double Yoon, 4 Minute, 24/7. Like the melody of a song wasn't even adjusted to really match the tracks. That's another issue that I have. It was just so like, shoot, we gotta find someone. Like
Yeah.
it was weird.
They tried to make it cool. Like they added these like trap beats and stuff to it, which was very odd. It was very, very odd. And like I feel like they should have actually gone the opposite route and made it kind of cuter.
Yeah.
Right? Like kind of what Kepler did to Tell It to My Heart, like kind of that idea, going more that route would have just matched the song more. Because melodically, it just did not make sense with the production
No.
at all.
No. It was so weird. So,
I don't know whether if they thought, oh, it needs like a kind of rhythmic flow to it so the girls can do like some choreo to it. But I really, listening to this track, you really do get a sense that, wow, these are songs. Same with Wannabe. Karma Chameleon is very much a signature of that decade and that time. And there are just certain things that you can't really force onto a song with such a clear DNA like this. Going more a rock route, I didn't even think about country, but what you said about country would have been cool. But I feel like, sometimes maybe for the format of the show, perhaps they think, oh, we got to deliver what certain people think K-pop is. But really, K-pop has no allegiance to any kind of genres. They've done every decade, every style of music, jazz, classical, country, amapiano. Like,
yeah.
we don't need to confine ourselves to these airy synths, and like just kind of, fluorescent 80s kind of synth bass.
Yes.
Take a risk with it. And actually, but that's the thing that maybe is my biggest takeaway from this series is that when you take the music kind of explanation or like the kind of music commentary away from this show, it becomes so vacuous. It really cheapens what K-pop does. And it's a disrespect to the genre because the whole conversation, the lack of commentary about what the producers are doing, what makes it K-pop, none of that was ever explained in this show. It was so focused on, let's chuck these people together and let's see how they do it on stage to revamp a classic hit.
Yeah, I think it would have been really cool if like each episode had a producer attached as well. Producer of these hit songs has taken it on, and then the producer saying, I've always loved these songs and it's amazing to put my own spin on it. Just to give a more 360 approach to K-pop.
Yes, and not so cash grab money, freaking size spinning on the roof every single episode. Oh my god.
Yeah, I will say shout out to Boy George at least for singing in Korean. Like that was at least
Yeah.
the one little
Yes,
kind of moment
absolutely.
there.
And I know everyone's thinking for worse, but they did make the song sound different. A lot of
Okay.
these songs aren't sounding different.
Okay,
They
yeah.
did add some
Yes.
mixture to it.
Yes.
Yes. The next one, Waterfalls, also sounded very different. Very different. Oh my god. Whoever did this was wildin'. Wildin'.
Yeah,
How
it
you-
sounded like a Kids Bop version of Waterfalls.
Lisa? would have been like, no. No, we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Because how in the world y'all got the disco dance version with T-Boz hitting too fast choreography, the bumps, the boxing, oh my goodness. And it blows my mind because don't get me wrong, there is dancing featured in the music video, in the live performance when they go, don't go, don't go. The VMA performance, I know it. So they're wearing the checkerboard. I love that performance. How the heck you gonna take a song about AIDS, you know, dealers and life lessons and sit there and turn it into this weird like graduation for 8th graders remix? How dare you? I am so mad. It just made everything sound super juvenile. Do I hate the disco-ness of it? No. I love a good disco moment. Give it to me, honey. But this song is not it because then the girl is in there, lonely mother gazing out of her window, yeah. And they're doing the bump. They're doing the bump. And I don't have the direct Korean translation, but the girl sat down at a donut shop. STAYC and TLC sat down at a donut shop to discuss the lyrics. And the first thing you do is, you know, you start, I just don't know what the creative direction was for this. Like no scrubs would have been just fine.
Yes.
What?
I wrote that down as well. It
And
should have
that
just
could-
been no scrubs.
Yeah, because that could give you such fun, sassy girl band, like back and forth.
Yes, because why are we not doing no scrubs? Why is that we choose Waterfalls? Why? That's like Eve singing Love is Blind. Why would she want to sit there and sing Love is Blind about the DV on a show like it doesn't make sense. No Scrubs, it was a pop hit. Just put the K in front of it and it's K-popped. But yeah, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But yeah, no, I feel like they didn't sound bad. No one sounded terrible. Thank you for the Korean lyrics, but it just did not make sense. The girls are wearing dresses and then T-Boz and Chili are sitting there wearing like these, you know, updated versions of what they wore in the music video. I just don't like. Get me out of here. Guys. Holy Joel. Wait,
It
it's like what the hell?
The only look, at least
Okay.
my biggest upset with the whole show is if you're telling me I'm watching a show called K-pop, which is mixing K-pop and Korea, mixing K-pop and Korea, which is mixing K-pop and Western artists, bringing them together. All some of the best in the biz, bringing them together. I think, wow, I'm going to see some of these performers perform like I've never seen them before. I think I'm going to get dancing. I think I'm going to get synergy. This show, sorry everyone, was from the Western artists, choreography-less. And I appreciate it was a short amount of time. Budget in some more rehearsals, you know, or some different artists. I thought, because I think if we're going to go surface level with K-pop, which we never should because it's so layered and extraordinary, but if we are going to be surface level, which maybe some people on this show did take it when they were making it, I would make choreography a huge element of that, and not just on the Korean side of things. That would have to be from everyone. If you're going to be K-popped, we're not just changing the song, we're changing the performance as well. So at least there was a little bit of movement in this performance. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, and they did incorporate the original choreography as well. Yes.
At breakneck speed.
So,
The big head bounce does never, ever, ever has to be that fast. I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, look, at least Chili, we know Chili could keep up, though. You know, Chili was killing
Chili,
it. T-Boz, maybe not as much.
She's unwell.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't normally do that much choreography on stage anyway, right?
Yeah.
Look, I think the actual performance, given how horrible the remix was, I actually thought the performance itself was actually okay. Like, if you don't take into account how the meaning of the song and how it just removed all emotion, I actually think it was fine. And the chemistry between the TLC ladies and the STAYC girls was actually not bad. But yeah, I don't think I will ever listen to this version ever again.
No.
But
Because it is, now you've said like no scrubs, I'm just thinking of like everything else they could have done, like even doing like Creep, you could have done something amazing.
Oof.
Or,
Yeah.
you know, let's not do leaning up tempo. Do up Unpretty and do a big vocal moment and like back and forth and just really give you a big
Yeah.
K-pop ballad. How incredible would that be?
Yeah. Oh, the opportunities. You know what? Once again, if y'all need people to write the show, call the fans. We got you.
Yes. Yes. David, how about you? What do you think of this one?
It's just a real disservice to the original, and it really does bring a concern that we're not maybe listening to the lyrics of the
Mhm.
song, and we're not adapting a performance for it, and that in itself doesn't do anyone favors, doesn't do the artist, doesn't do K-pop as a genre favors, doesn't do TLC any favors. It just felt like someone needed to just stop, slow down, take a deep breath, in the words of Victoria Beckham, and just reevaluate what are we actually doing here.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Ooh, yes. A word.
Sorry.
They probably did ask that, but they thought we're on episode 6, so we're not going to think about it. We're going to
Too late.
continue.
Contract's been signed. Dallas Austin got his money. Like everyone's happy.
Okay. What wins between Boy George and TLC?
Wes and Wes.
Oh no.
You know what? I don't know. Like all the hundreds of televisions behind Boy George was just haunting. And they didn't get they didn't get the concept of the song either. No one got
No.
the concept.
Karma
this episode.
Chameleons actually has quite deep lyrics as well.
Yes, this
No, it was
episode was
concepts less. That was the concept. There is no
Right.
concept.
It was X. There is no genre.
This is actually really hard. The least offensive sonically would actually still be Waterfalls.
I think I
Yeah,
agree
it's
with you.
TLC
It's
for
kids
me.
bop
Yeah.
Yes.
and it's cheap disco beats,
Yes.
but at least it's not offensive to the ears.
Yes, I'm on the same page. Okay.
Yeah, Boy George did his thing though, but it just wasn't. No, it's not their fault. This episode was probably the worst one of the season.
Oh, well, we'll see. No. Okay, let's get to episode 7. Ava Max, Kings and Queens, and Jess Glynne, Hold My Hand with Kiss of Life.
To all the queens who are fighting alone, baby, you're not. Darling, hold my hand.
Okay, Ava Max, maybe she really is the outlier, I think, in the cast here on the Western side, just because she's just so new compared to everyone else.
You
For
know
me.
what? But K-pop, like I wouldn't say like K-poppers love her, but like a lot of the Koreans like love her. Like Sweet But Psycho was in almost every dance cruise video. King and Queens, they just love her sound.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm. I mean, if she counts as a legend alongside Patti LaBelle, then sure.
I mean, I Am sounds just like I Am, and then Bite Me by Hypen sounds like Ava Max.
That's true. No, that
Some
is
of-
very true.
yeah, so-
Modern K-pop does sound like Ava Max
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
don't know what it is, but they had like it's like Tinashe. Like I don't know what happened, but they love her out there too.
Yeah.
You know, Tinashe would have been great.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would have been great.
And
That's
that
someone
is
who's
someone
not
that would
scared
have
of
given you
choreo.
an amazing performance. She's ready to be K-popped. She'd
Ooh.
be dancing circles
Ugh.
around everyone. They'd all be dancing circles around each other. It'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh, hire us now. Okay. All right. So, all right, David, kick us off. What do you think of Kings and Queens?
Look, this song is just perfect for the show. Like,
Mhm.
it is just, it's maximalist pop, big vocals, it's giving drama. In that sense, I feel like, okay, maybe they don't need to do anything to it, but I just thought, why does it still sound like a version of a performance that we've seen several years ago?
Yeah.
You know, I was
Mhm.
hoping that after so much distance with Kings and Queens, that I would come back to this song and be like, oh, I didn't realize I could enjoy it in a new way. And
Oh yeah.
I wasn't. I was hearing familiarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't enough for me.
That's valid. It was giving from me. It was like beautiful gowns, beautiful gowns. Oh, it was because what happened with that performance? I don't know. Like, even when they're rehearsing, she goes, "I want them to have like a guitar moment." Nati don't want us to be playing no air guitar. She want me whipping and flicking and you know what I'm saying? She wants to sit in the hip and give you like, you know, oots to the puss. Like it was not like it was, but I think that's what was missing. You have Kiss of Life, who although had that misstep, are very hip hop R&B based.
Mhm.
Kings and Queens with a little bit of like a like a little pre-hook that sounded kind of R&B. Would have been leaning a little bit SME, whatever. But it would have been something to kind of strip away from the already recognizable sound of what it is. And then Ava, she's a great singer. We know she can sing. Belle held it down with her little ad libs. I was like, great, to go off. But again, it wasn't giving anything. You had vocalist with another vocalist. Had you swapped it, I think, Hanur and what's her name? Julie. Let me doing this. But Julie, maybe a little rappy moment. Because Ava can sing. You don't need three vocalists singing that song. Because Ava is Ava. She's iconic. We love it. Blah, blah, blah. But something was missing that was K-pop. And every K-pop song has a rap. For whatever reason, but but that would have been something that'd been like, oh, interesting. But aside from that, the performance was decent. It just sounded like an AMA's performance, special stage, like SM with Britney and Rihanna. Nothing was switched up. It was just, wow, they're both good. Great job. Consistent.
Yeah, I think Ava, like her vibe has always been this kind of like lazy-ish, kind of like slinky. No, I don't mean lazy in a bad way. Like I mean like her vibe is that she doesn't need to try that hard, right? Like
Effortless, yeah.
it's all just kind of a bit like she could barely walk in her shoes, right? Like the whole
right.
vibe is you don't have to do too much, right? She's
Right.
never been that type of performer.
Mhm.
And as you were saying, Kiss of Life are amazing performers, actually. And so then it was kind of the same case as another artist I said before, where they kind of had to just kind of pull back to match the Western artist. And then nothing was actually elevated by them doing that, I think. So there was nothing bad about the performance. It just wasn't very memorable, just didn't really make much impact.
Yeah, my notes is exactly that. It's amazing performance, but was any of it K-popped? It's sound we've got. But I love a little throne to start on. I love stairs, and even though it's only about 3 or 4 stairs, we've still got them there.
Stairs, yes. On the stairs. I like the costuming for this. I felt like they all matched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They
Like,
did look like a girl group, actually, 3 of
yeah.
them.
So shout out to them for that. Give them that. Okay, and then okay, speaking of what I was saying about maybe swapping the mashups and the units, I think Hold My Hand unit was, I think, the weakest we've seen so far.
Oof, that rehearsal moment, I had to rant. I think I ranted to you, Chantel, and a few other people when Jess asked if they could do that very simple 3-part harmony,
I'm ready for this.
and they were very scared. And it's not, is it even in the backing track? Like, I think they even record it, like, to just have in the back? I don't think so. Like, that was horrifying to me because going back to what we were saying earlier, there's so many K-pop artists that could have done that in a second, you know? And so this was almost embarrassing. Like, again, it does a disservice to K-pop because I think if you are leaning towards a Western audience, like, I would be horrified by that.
Yeah, I mean, we've always talked about it on the show. K-pop will always be wow, hoo, 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 because it's a spectacle. And the productions are also very good. I'm not going to take that from the producers and the songwriters and all the top liners and whatnot. But without the visual aspect, these songs could, quote unquote, depending on the artist, go to anyone, depending on the artist, not everyone. And I think for them, like Julie, she does sing sometimes. She's not just the rapper. So I don't think she was actually, that was kind of like not fair to herself either. But then Hanur has harmonized with Belle in their debut song during the bridge. So again, it's like you can't be that rehearsed where if someone gives you a note on a piano, you can't practice it within like 2 hours. And don't get me wrong, I've had harmonies and when I was in Little Shop and I was like, girl, what's that note? What is that? Pluck it out for me. I'll record it and I'll practice it. But you're right. I think they should have recorded it as well. I think this was kind of one of those like, this is the weaker side of K-pop. They didn't dance either. Neither one of these girls dance. They're belt their face off baddies, you know? And then what happened?
Nothing. That's what happened.
Literally nothing.
But on that point,
Yeah.
come on. Unless you all really disagree, the vocals aren't live in the whole show.
No.
No.
So we
Yeah, no.
can pre-record that 3-part harmony.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't want to go on a Jet 2 holiday. No, they
No.
wouldn't go no Jet 2 holiday for them.
Which is like, it's become like the song of the summer in a really naff novelty way here, Jet 2. But if they'd really pulled this out the bag, it could have continued the moment of this song. Could have
And it could
really
have been
been
really
something.
great for them, actually. And do you know what? I was just actually thinking this because we were all talking about the different artists that are on. We're very much focused on the guest artists, the Western artists that are coming in. But would you say very many of these K-pop stars showed what they could really do, other than ATEEZ? Because I think ATEEZ, both sides of the episode, got to do that. But I feel like everyone else that's been thrown into this episode have left a little bit vulnerable, because Kiss of Live was going to be my number 2 most bankable performers of this whole lineup. And all the stuff I know these girls for, and I'm very limited in my Kiss of Live knowledge, but I know they can do R&B. I know they have a certain flavor.
Yeah.
And I just don't think it was the right pairing of songs and artists for them. And even if that was the case, like, why don't you girls just put your foot down a little bit more and just do what you do best?
Yeah. It's that's where the cultural thing comes in, not just like sonic cultural things, but also personalities. You know, like it is tough. But honestly, I feel like if Kiss of Life would have been put maybe with like, let's just say we switch it around, right? Maybe if it would have been put with Spice Girls, that would have been interesting, right?
Oh, wow.
And then give ITZY the Jess, Glynne, Ava Max, and then let them kind of do something. Let them, because Yeji can sing the "Darling on my head." It's a little high. Leah could sing it, or just maybe harmonize.
Yeah.
They could have done it. I think they could have done it. Even Billie, they sing their harmonies. I forgot what song, and I can't think of it right now. But they have this one song, and their harmonies are so wonky and crazy. And I'm like, you guys can sing this. You guys hear each other singing. They're more vocal based. But yeah, it's just tough. Again, it just goes back to what's being focused on in these latter half of these K-pop generations. It's all like dance. They're the best dancers ever. They're the best dancers ever. Yeah, but can they sing? And because they're not singing, why do you think Golden was so big? Because EJ is singing her effing face off. You don't need to see her shake her butt. If they were animated characters, they weren't dancing. She was singing her face off, and everyone knows the song. Now, if you have this happening here, it's just like, oh, that was cute. That one girl who kind of, that was cute.
I mean, and then it goes back to your other point where if they're not given choreography, they seem very awkward. They don't know how to really command a stage without it being fully staged. So yeah, I think like what one of you were saying, it does show some of the weaknesses in the K-pop training.
And I think I've never even thought about that, how you're saying about Golden, because I forgot of like big part of the reason of why I initially got into K-pop was that euphoric feeling that it leaves you when you have these big moments. Listening to the Wonder Girls for the first time, and they go like da 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 da, like it's like,
yeah,
and you're picturing them, and you're like, it can raise up, and
Yeah.
this is just all like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Nobody, right?
yeah.
Yep. Honey, it's you
Yeah.
that I want.
And then you're like in the shower, and I'm like, I'm the 6th Wonder Girl, like, come on.
I love that. Yeah, and I think that's what was missing. There's a lot of notes to be had about K-pop. Not terrible. It's very like down the middle of the road. So with these very okay performances, who are our picks? David's face is giving he doesn't know yet. So we're going to go right to you, Chris.
Ava, I think, was the more successful performance here.
Yeah, I'll give it to Ava. Yeah.
Yeah,
But Jess can sing her face off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know she could sing like that. Like, how people sing their records live. You're like, it's kind of high, girl. You gonna change the key? She said, "Darling, hold my hand." Y'all can't hit that.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that for her.
And I always say keys were made to be changed.
Oh.
Me, I lower it. Not to Jess, to me.
Hang on. Beyonce was second that because there are some notes she goes lower. So I hear you on that. And it's so true. If you're gonna be sitting there singing like how many days a night, how many days a week, just get it. All right. So speaking of key changes, maybe this last episode could have dealt with some. This is episode This is episode 8, Boys to Men with Motownphilly and End of the Road, featuring Black Swan, the girl group that I almost got into. Fun fact.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I auditioned for Black Swan years ago, and I was in the round where both Shreya and Gabby were in, the Brazilian and I think she's Indian. I don't think she's Sri Lankan. I think she's Indian.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was in that same round of picks. But I think they already had a black member, so that's what it is, you know. But I'm joking. I don't know the reason why I didn't get in, but the point is I was a finalist as well. But yeah, this is my almost K-pop group. So girls, I'm not gonna say anything crazy. I will say that, but I do have notes.
Let's go! Motownphilly back again.
Having such a strong vocal group with these girls, I don't know was the best idea. That's all I'm going to start off with. Joel, what are your thoughts?
Motownphilly, great big production number. Fantastic. Like, you know, we need to end on that. But again, like, was it K-popped?
Okay. It was swing dancey. Like if you think like TVXQ, she's got that something, or like UNB Black Heart, they kind of like a swing dancey thing.
Okay. All right. Put me in my place, guys. Put me in my place.
No, I'm trying. I was
Yeah,
trying.
there were some
I'm
like
trying.
house elements and stuff in there. I do think
Yeah.
some of the production was actually okay here.
Yeah.
I just think the pairing itself was really just where I had a big question mark.
The pairing was, I mean, with Motownphilly, it really like rejuvenated the song. It really made me want this version of it. So I think in terms of production, it was just the right level of upgrade. And I would say it's one of the more successful upgrades of the whole series. Yeah, sadly, Black Swan was nowhere to be seen or remembered in this performance. I felt like the three guys completely dominated, and the parts that they threw over to the girls, it just felt like they weren't keeping up, or they didn't have, I don't know, they weren't able to bring themselves into this song, which I think is really hard, right? Because there's such a historical setting with this particular song. It's so infused with the groups. It's of a certain time, it's of a certain kind of cultural location.
Yeah.
I think it would have been nice to have each of the girls sing in their native tongue.
Oh,
something.
to make them look as if they were like a K-pop group, even though they have no Koreans in the group. Yeah, nice, David. Very nice. Yeah.
Did you guys think it was weird to split the group into 3 and 1? And the 1 is the newest member. It made me feel
Yes.
really sad.
Maybe she was wanting her own moment. She
Yeah,
was like,
and she
"Oh,
got it. And
I'll
I'm not
be
getting to the
leading."
next one, but it just, I don't know.
You
know,
know,
And Chantel, if you were there, they would have been 3 and 2. So there's plenty of room.
yeah, yeah.
Vocally, I don't think the other three could have handled any of End of the Road, so I think they had to split it this way. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like imagine Boys to Men with like the 3 lead singers of EXO, or
Oh.
Boys to Men with 2 AM, like from back in the day,
Oh my
right?
God, yes, right. Even Zero
Or-
Base One, they can sing their
There are
faces
some
off, too.
amazing. Okay, even if
Yeah.
you went female, right? Like Mamamoo, you know, bring in Solar,
Solar.
in here.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many. Or Taeyeon, you mentioned Taeyeon earlier. Like
Red Velvet. Yeah.
Red Velvet, yes.
Windy, yeah.
Like there are
Oh.
so many. Like this felt, and I think I used this word already with another artist, but this felt a little disrespectful to Boys to Men. You know, that they were paired with Black Swan, who are not vocalists.
No.
Do you think the show faltered in? It seems from Western side, we've got a lot of legacy acts. And then and I know we're circling back to things we've already spoken about, but then from the K-pop side, it is a lot of more like new up and comers. And I appreciate they wanted to do full bands and split it up. But what if it was more like legacy act and legacy act? So you have got Emma and Melby of the Spice Girls, and then it is 1 or 2 K-pop stars. They don't even need to have been from the same group. It could be a soloist joining them and
Yeah.
mixing how do we bring some spice together with what you dominated with K-pop in the 2000s and bring 90s and 2000s together and let's create something special. do a Spice Girl song and do a famous K-pop song, you know?
I think people are worried about the ratings. Like, oh, how can we get this person? You know, like with acting even now, it's like how many followers you have. And
Yeah.
it's just like, that's kind of stupid. The song should be good. The show should be good. People will find it.
Yeah,
But
but even then with the casting of the K-pop artists, some of them are very random. You know, like
oh,
JO1 are not even really K-pop. I mean, Black Swan, let's be honest, like their following is not that big, right? ATEEZ is the only true A-lister, I would say, in this
and
whole
it's yeah.
cast. Yeah, and so I feel like there may have been just a struggle there. Maybe they just couldn't get some of the
Budget.
artists to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the budget went to the stage separating. Split.
The parting of the
Split.
broken heart. And all those light sticks that had to get
The
made.
sugar cubes. Yeah, the sugar cubes.
Oh man, but yes, I will say, I think the best moment from the Motownphilly performance was Sean doing that little dance with the other three of them. That kind of felt the most integrated. They tried to do a little fun little moment at the end, but it ended up just being a bit awkward.
Yeah.
But yeah, the boys really showed them up here.
Yeah, they performed really well. I think for me, like I said, I'm not gonna say anything too crazy because could have been me. Um, but all jokes aside, I think what the weaker point of this was, again, you have K-pop, you have Fatu, who is a rapper, you have Gabby, who's not the strongest singer, but she's like a sub vocalist, the visual or whatever, and Shreya. I'm probably saying her name wrong, I'm so sorry. But the point is, Syria can sing to a certain extent as well. Yes, they can sing, but like, why aren't they doing some of those ad-libs? Like, oh, the Philly steaks you can eat, something. A rap, some Korean, like you said, David. So I think for that was a little bit like, And then I think what really helped me be like, okay, this performance, thank you, something happened, was the battle of the Doom Doom Dadas, right? Even though
Yes.
it may have been pre-recorded, can't tell right now because I'm just like, I see the mouths moving, but the calls coming from inside the house, I'm not sure, but it's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, at least that sounded good. So even if they did pre-record it, I'm fine with it because they did more than what Kiss of Life did with Jess and Glynne. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
thank you for the nugget, the little crumbs, something.
I'm all for a pre-recorded vocal. It is your voice, doesn't matter. What did I say to you, David? Like, I had a Facebook memory come up recently. Like, I've gone through in life where you were so cringed by what you were saying to now it's funny. And it came up like 2009, I put like, live vocals were overrated.
What artist was that referring to?
Right.
It would have been like Saturday night watching The X Factor, because that was when we were all in like our Facebook status era thinking we can comment on everything.
Oh my
I
God,
mean,
yes.
It's just like, this is something that comes up on our podcast a lot. The classic line is, the vocals were live at one stage.
Oh my God, I love it. That's what I'm saying, because they were live at one point or another. The point where I
Makes sense, yeah.
caught them. Yeah. The point that I caught it, I was like, okay, that's their voices. I hear three girls. Thank you. So I'll take that. But yeah, something Korean
Yeah.
should have happened. Something Korean should have happened for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so end of the road. We got Envy alone with them.
Yes.
First off, I'm sure that was a really intimidating experience for
Oh
her.
my God.
So
Oh.
good for her for trying
Yeah.
to lead that situation.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The new version, though, I hated the new production on it. It just sounded very cheap. Like it just sounded karaoke with kind of the fake strings and stuff.
Yeah.
But I get that's hard though. It's hard to do something to end of the road. So
I mean, not unless you go for like that real old school, like there's a song called While You Were Sleeping by I think not Narsha, but one of the members, Jea, While You Were Sleeping, from one of the Brown Eyed Girls. Honey, she could take some strings. Even IU, for example. All you have to do is just go back a couple more years and you'll have a bunch of singers, soloists who do ballads. Listen to an OST for a K-drama. BS. Whoever, no offense to you, Chris, I'm sorry. But I think they could have been like something with the strings. They don't need real strings, but like, I get what you're saying. It sounded very karaoke. And I'm like, you guys are not really doing your homework. Goes back to what you were saying, David, what you were saying, Joel. What all of us are saying, try harder. Because it's not difficult. And yeah, it didn't feel like the performance was leaning toward them all performing. It was just more just like, we got this really expensive ass group. Yeah, you can sing with them. And I think that's why it also kind of just felt like she was just there. It wasn't giving one sweet day.
And And it could have been
Could have.
given that. And I actually thought, is the problem that they're all standing in a line? Like,
Oh,
is the
yes.
stage too empty? You know, if you're saying that, okay, K-popping something, you know, let's boil it down to what that means. Visuals and stage production. That doesn't mean having dancers all the time. You know, give me a pumpkin coach or something on stage.
Yes.
She can be in it. The guys can be swirling around it, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Just something, like someone build a set, please.
Something.
Other than the parting of the hearts. But it just felt very X Factor performance of the eliminated performer of that week.
Oh.
It's like, oh, we're not turning on the good pyro for this one. Yeah, you're just getting the LED screens.
Yeah. Like, amazing vocals, but yeah, bare stage, and then it feels bare with just standing there. But what it really could have been, and like, I mean, I keep referring to them because they are like my first K-pop obsession. But like, when you looked back at the Wonder Girls, and there would be like Sun and Yenny singing Whitney and Mariah When You Believe, and that's the video I would show people when they go in the early 2010s, or late 2000s. Oh, you like K-pop? Like, what do they even sing? I'll be like, watch this, and
Yeah.
it's like, wow, that is mind blowing. And then imagine if there was a world where this show was 10 years ago and it wasn't just them singing it with
Yeah.
each other; they were joined by Mariah or something. That's the level we want from this show.
Oh my God, yes.
Divas having a diva off. But what we had was wonderful vocals, but it just a great opportunity for her. But I don't know why I kept thinking like, oh my God, imagine being a new member in a band and it just feels like you're being thrown in the deep end.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, she is the only vocalist. I hate when they say that. I'm like, then learn how to sing. That will always no, listen, we all knew Kai from EXO. He wasn't that guy. He was giving you hot on a stick. This man just had a solo concert that he went to, and it was singing live most of
Yeah.
the time.
And
So-
sounded good.
No,
Yeah.
even Chanyeol. No one looks at him and go, "Oh, vocalist,"
Yeah.
but this man sings all the time now. Can't get him to stop. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the point is, learn, try. Don't use
Yeah.
this excuse. I'm the rapper.
Mhm.
What?
And at least if you think, oh, it's going to be split up like that, maybe again, as you'd already said, Chantel, like, can you mix up who the pairings are? Because she sat alone in the VIP area, whereas any of the other episodes, she would have had someone else with her.
Yeah, because it was giving
Oh.
stepchild. It was giving stepchild. Oh, Envy. Oh my God. But yes, okay. So, who's everyone's pick? I'll just say Motownphilly. Off the
Oh,
bat.
yeah.
Motownphilly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Motownphilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Well, I guess closing thoughts. Everyone name a best performance of the whole show, worst performance of the whole show. And then just, if you have any dream collabs for season 2, since we are pitching ourselves to be consultants.
Right.
Okay, I would say, I think Savage is definitely up there
Mhm.
as a performance. Of course, KT's is up there. And I think Kesha actually has moved up the
Mm.
ranks for me.
Solid top 3. Okay. Okay, I would say Kylie and ATEEZ for sure. Vanilla Ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I love Taylor did what she did. I love what she did. I just think I liked it. I like the way it sounded more. But I think production wise, staging wise, and the whole, little gangsta Asian girls, I was here for it. So yeah, that. And then lastly, oh Jesus. That might be it for me, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. Savage was okay, but I think that's like the bottom for me in terms of like wowness. It was just good for the first episode.
Mhm.
I mean, this is not going to surprise anyone, but the best is ATEEZ and Kylie, KT's. Like, they really met the brief and delivered and wowed us. And then, yeah, Kepler and Vanilla Ice. I know, I can't believe it, but it is the most thorough experience I could have gotten out of this series. And I just was so shocked that Vanilla Ice would not have been on my list at all.
Right? Oh my god.
And I'm actually like, do you know what? Like, this surprisingly worked. He was in fighting form, and the girls just matched the energy. That
Mhm.
was super impressive.
Yeah.
When they invite us all to be consultants and we brief all our blue sky ideas, they're going to turn around and say to us, "What is it? So you've misunderstood because the magic of K-pop is that Vanilla Ice is the standout star of the show."
Joke's on you, right?
For me, Katie's Spice Girls, purely for you've given us some Spice Girls activity. You know, you've got to give
Valid.
it credit for that.
Oh,
Valid.
Be There was actually not bad, I would say.
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible, yeah.
Honestly, just seeing Emma and Mel B do their thing, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Makes it all worth it. Makes this
Oh.
entire series worth it.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. In terms of worst performance, I would probably give it to Karma Chameleon.
Yeah,
Ooh.
definitely. I'm so
Or-
sorry to Boy George. But
Yeah.
lovely hats. Beautiful hats.
Beautiful. David Frank
And he
over
sounded
here.
great, actually.
He did. No,
He
he
did.
was great.
He was great.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
just overall package.
Mhm.
It was giving Amazon package compared to like,
It was getting Camus.
ooh, just no bubble wrap. Okay, got it. Okay. Ooh, Jesus. Right. Joel, what's your worst performance?
Other than Uncle George, I had, dare I say, Jess Glynne.
Mm,
Ooh.
valid.
Because I was just like, what is the point of this? Sorry. But like,
You could have sung at home. They could have sung at home.
yeah,
Sure.
like,
I can't be caught on camera laughing that hard. I'm so sorry. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna for me. There's a couple. There's a couple. But the couple have been said, and I want to say that Wannabe for me was not good. I think not one of the
Oh.
worst ever, but one of the worst. One. It was weak. It was a weak performance, and the three girls were not into it. Like, yeah, Emma and Mel, yeah, they're into it, but the other three girls, again, it was just it's a check, and you would show up too. I was an employee. That's what it was giving, and I'm not.
Mm.
Yeah, like in Mix and Pablo Vittar. Have y'all seen Mix? The comp, honey, that's what you call a collaboration. Well, I'll send it to the group later.
ooh,
That is what you call a JYP
ooh.
perfect collaboration with a different Western
Mm.
artist. So yeah, Wannabe was not it for me.
Mm. Okay, in terms of dream collabs, just off the top of my head, let's see. Avril Lavigne, Girlfriend. We already have all those other languages, and Korean was not one of them. So
Huh.
it's time to make the Korean version of Girlfriend.
You're so silly.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. Oh, and the song. Wow. Nice.
Kelly Rowland, she would
Wow.
whip them into shape, give us Commander or When Love Takes Over or something.
You wouldn't be able to tell Kelly you're not allowed, like you can't do a harmony. If Kelly says
Exactly.
in the room, "Can we do a harmony?" Kelly will then
Yes.
work with you for hours till
Yes.
you get
Yes.
it. You
Listen,
know?
when Beyonce was singing, or Michelle was singing, I just start harmonizing with them. I don't care what it is. It
Mhm.
could be Mary Had a Little Lamb. It could be the ABCs. I don't care. It's always the same story, but she's
Mhm.
right. She's right.
Yes. And then I would love a little gay moment like X Love
Oh,
with Lady
God.
Gaga
Yes.
or something like
Wow.
that.
Ooh. Oh.
So I was thinking about this before we went on. Like once I digested the show,
Oh.
I then thought, okay, well, I have all my issues. So what's the solution? And for what I feel like it's missing is from the Western side is give me an Addison Rae. Like she will give you an amazing performance. She'll be dancing with them. Give us a Tate McRae. Like give us those current
Mhm.
giving you everything pop stars
Mhm.
who will respect the K-pop songbook and
Yeah.
performance book and give you everything. And then, like I've already said, like if we have more legacy acts, like let's pair with some legacy K-pop stars.
Mm. You know, oh, that's interesting. Oh, crap. I think for me, I think the Western artists matter first, I would say. Like Tinashe, she can go with any group, really, because I
that'd
mean,
be
they
incredible.
reheated her nachos with Super Love Daya, that girl group. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
any girl group could do it, I would say. Not that Tinashe is like an easy like Western artist to compare to, but like a lot of her songs, a K-pop artist could hop on. You know, I mean, they couldn't do the trampoline dance, but Nasty Girl, they just have to be able to keep up with her. You know what I'm saying? So that's like what girl group? There's a girl group called VVS that's super new.
I love them.
Yes. They
Oh my God.
God. VVS and Tinashe.
Yes.
Bone apple teeth. Okay, hello,
Throw in
honey.
Giselle from Espa.
Yes,
Because these
even.
songs, their songs are Giselle-esque.
You know, you get it. Or
Yeah.
like maybe even if Kaylani was on, she dances, she
Yeah.
sings,
Oh,
she
yeah.
has distraction, she
People
has a
dance.
higher tone, you know. So I get what you guys are totally saying on that. I don't think they can get anyone bigger than like a no. See now she's like not she's like B and like Ray Amy. She's already had K-pop Demon Hunters, but she's a great artist already.
Hmm.
Let's see who else. Who else? I had someone else in my head, but in terms of K-pop artists, it is tough. Like, who would you get on here to sing? Well, let me think. Like Zero Base One, they have a lot of great singers in their group. I do not know these boys' names, but every time I listen to a song, I don't know who it is. Chris and I look it up. It's like, oh, Zero Base One. Damn, they're good. So Zero Base One's is good. Even some members from Twice, they're doing their own little like Mina, like Minaso, not Minaso, not Minaso. Is it Minaso? Mimoso? Whatever, the little Japanese subunit they got going on. They could be on this. Even Jihyo, she needs a moment. She keeps like she can sing her face off. She can do anything. She can rap. She can sing. So I think it just depends. Like we don't need the whole group. Maybe just have one episode with two artists from the group. You know what I'm saying? With male singers, Kihyun from Monster X with Benson Boone. You know, things like that. You don't need the full group. And if you do get the full group, incorporate the rappers, incorporate the dance moments. Like Benson Boone doing a backflip amongst a bunch of dancing boys and they're breaking their necks. It'd be great. Everyone would be great. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough because there's so many new groups out right now. But I'm just like, who would they fit with? It all has to be legacy acts. It all has to be these old groups. You know, like CN Blue with freaking Adam Levine. Maroon 5 does not all have to be there. No offense. No offense. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But think about it. You don't need this large. You just need the face of the group. You know what I'm saying? Haley Williams with what's that singer from Dreamcatcher? You just need the one person that represents the whole group, or just the good singers from that group with that one artist. You guys know the singer I'm talking about from Dreamcatcher. She's one that's belting all the notes. And what's her name? Sua? Maybe Sua. I don't know. But yeah.
My brother's going to be so mad. He's like the biggest Dreamcatcher fan. He'll be shouting, screaming at the screen.
I am so sorry. It is Sua from Dreamcatcher, I think. Yeah. It's Sua. Not Sua. No, it's not her. She's not the one to be sitting there singing her face. The point is, you need to kind of like cherry pick, I think, a little bit more as opposed to using the whole budget on the 11 members.
Yeah.
You don't need all 11 of them.
I loved your suggestion, Chris, of Avril because, yeah, a rockier side of K-pop would be so fun to explore. I made my own kind of boys of K-pop rock. You know, anything that was like a descendant of One Direction. I made a whole playlist of just mainly guitar-driven boys, big anthemic choruses, and I was surprised by how many I loved. I can't pronounce the name of this group, guys. You have to help me. Evney? Evie.
Oh, even or something. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
They do that kind of One Direction, the Vamps style of high energy guitar driven pop. So let's bring those boys on. Let's get Bradley from the Vamps on, or let's get Niall Horan on. And give me that throwback One Direction vibe.
Yeah.
Early 20s like energy, because I think that will be so much fun to see what they can do there. And obviously there's always a rap verse in there, so it's like, okay, tick, K-pop, there we go. And then someone can do a big vocal moment and be dramatic. I would love Chung-ha to be part of this.
Chung-ha needs something, yes.
Oh, yeah.
my God. This would be
She
great
can
for her.
sing, she can dance.
Yeah.
Sure, put her with Kelly Rowland, put her with Ciara.
Oh my God, yes, Sierra would be great on. Okay.
Yes,
Where
Sierra would be amazing.
where was the Sierra booking for this? You know, her new album was just out. Come on, this was.
Right.
And she would have danced circles around everyone as well. Like,
oh my God, can you
give
imagine?
me some dancers.
Goodies would have to be the song, not 1 2 Step.
So much to choose from. Oh,
Or even Got Me Good. Got Me Good would be good.
that is underrated. I don't know if the kids know that. I don't know if the kids know that.
It breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart.
Get
Max
Up.
Martin, yeah.
Yeah, Get Up. Oh my God. Katy Perry at this point, she needs a win. So Katy Perry could be on this too.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Any closing thoughts on K-pop? Anything last to pitch to Apple TV?
I got a question. Who do you think this show was for?
the Bachelorette fans. The Bachelor.
Yeah. So kind of like the Masked Singer meets K-pop, isn't it?
Yeah, because the Masked
Just like the
Singer
studio
was
and
Korean.
production.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Right.
definitely for the fans of the Western artists who
Yeah.
have never really dabbled in K-pop before.
Yeah, it's not for
Mm.
K-pop fans. You can be a fan of K-pop, but this is not for you. No offense. So if you're watching, it's like, why are they talking like this? Because we are the target. But yeah, I mean, what I would say to Apple TV, if you guys get a budget for another season, I think a lot needs to be changed. A lot of rejigging. Like some suggestions were made. Get different producers. There's so many producers. Groovy Room, Black Eyed Pill Song, Mordney Present. Remember Mordney Present? Remember Mordney Present? He would whisper on the track before he did Kahi's solo track. Yes, Mordney Present. I'm talking about some old guys. Sweet Tune, where are they? Hello, Infinite. Hello. I mean, like, there's so many options here. There's so many K-pop producers in general. Even if you can't get like the big names, get the ones who used to make the music, who gave us something to latch onto when
Mm.
YouTube popped out.
Yeah.
And
I know
enough,
others available. Yeah. Come on.
yes, and cut out the whole like we're eating each other's food thing. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, the cultural exchange, I would much prefer to watch more of the creative process for sure. Yeah.
And have more rehearsal time, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And it's just a shame because you should come away with a show like this and every song feels like a fresh new remix that you want to download, you want to listen to.
Yes.
And they all just feel more like novelty tracks for the show.
Yes.
And then I think the biggest fault is the best bit is when the K-pop act themselves perform a little bit at the end. You go, oh, that's how it's done.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. You notice that there's no recorded tracks for these, right? And all of
No.
it's not all up.
No. So that to me says that they weren't confident in what they came out with. And also they weren't getting sign off from everyone to
Mhm.
release the performance. So yeah, again, more time needs to be invested in the music side of things because I think we can all see now from K-pop Demon Hunters that the soundtrack was solid.
Yeah.
You know, the film could have been whatever, take it or leave it. You can be a fan of it or not, but you can't deny the music was good. And that's what's charting and that's what's selling right now. So focus on the music because that's what makes K-pop special. Go back to the music.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect way to cap off this episode. Everyone listening, let us know what you all think of K-pop. If you have any thoughts on what a potential season 2 would be like, let us know in the comments. Of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to our show for more from us. And of course, go subscribe to Right Back At Ya, the 2000s pop music podcast as well. David, Joel, do you want to plug your show?
If you love 2000s pop music, join us on Right Back At You, the 2000s Pop Music Podcast. Follow us at Right Back Pod on all social platforms. We celebrate the greats and the underrated gems from the 2000s. There's no such thing as a guilty pleasure. We just celebrate great production and amazing pop music.
That's
Yes,
right.
we do.
Yes, if you like our show, you'll love their show. For sure. Big special shout out to our Patreon crew members as well. Emily, George, Lily, Julianne, Jonathan, Jasmine, Janelle, Darius, Ren, Louie, Hillary, Kelsey, Ellie, and our newest member, Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Yes.
hi.
Yes. If you want to join our Patreon, you get to request new episodes, and we have exclusive live sessions with you as well to discuss all things pop music. You can join us at patreon.com/cctvpops. And until next time, that's Chantel, Joel, and David.
And that's Chris.
And we are CCTV, the nonstop pop show.
You want